Sometimes we decode the show. Hidden Easter eggs, lines to know. Three friends laughing, munching snacks. Lois and Clark, we're always coming back. Ooh.
I'm Molly.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to FOLCs Forever, a Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman Rewatch podcast.
We're three fans who've been loving LNC since 1993.
Each week, we'll recap one episode and talk about at least one LNC-related topic.
But today's episode is a little different because instead of talking about a particular episode, we're going to be talking about us.
Welcome to our intro episode. If you'd like to know more about who we are, how we became FOLCs, and how we all became friends, this episode is for you.
So we should probably explain what FOLC means. If you've been around, you probably know. But if for some reason you're new to this show and this podcast, FOLC stands for Fans of Lois and Clark. Way back in 1993, Molly and I lived about 25 miles away from each other near Portland, Oregon. Julie lived about 3 time zones away near Columbus, Ohio. None of us knew each other, but we all had something in common.
We were each 13 years old in September of 93, and on the night of the 12th, we all had a parent who wanted to watch this brand new ABC show called Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
We watched too, and it didn't take too long for us to become super fans. The three of us all got online during our later teenage years, joined the online Lois and Clark fandom, and eventually found each other.
We still watch the show regularly, and for nearly a decade, we've been posting photos, quotes, and memes in our group chat. For a while now, I've been saying we should start a podcast.
She finally convinced us.
So now, here we are. We would like to acknowledge the wonderful podcast, Lois and Clark, the new podcasts of Superman, hosted by Matt Truex. We all listen to it and definitely recommend it. In planning this podcast, we've tried to be intentional about covering topics that podcasts may not have covered. Sure, we'll be reviewing the episodes, but we'll also be giving you some extra bits of trivia, special reports about folk-related topics, and lots more.
We've got plenty to say on all sorts of subjects, from using dial-up and paying by the hour to access LNC spoilers and download low-res bitmap photos during the show's initial run, to writing cringy fanfic, to trading VHS tapes with folks across the globe.
We were there when the show hit its ratings high. When the ratings started to go in the other direction, we wrote letters to Warner Brothers and ABC and campaigned our hearts out for our show. And when things didn't turn out the way we'd hoped, we coped by starting up our own LNC fan clubs.
And stealthily found ways to access the Lois and Clark reruns on TNT.
And we wrote even more cringy fanfic. Okay, maybe that was just me?
It's wild to think that if not for Lois and Clark, the three of us would likely never have even met. And now here we are, 3 friends.
3 fans.
And 3 podcasters, here to cover all the wafts and whams.
And here to explain what those are.
As we revisit the classic beloved show, one episode at a time. All right, so why don't we start off by giving a brief rundown of who we are? Julie, why don't you start?
Hello, everyone. Well, I'm Julie. I'm from Ohio, married to my best friend Chris for 20 years now. Crazy to think it's been that long already. Been together 25 years, and I still can't believe he puts up with my crazy love for this show, and now this podcast. We don't have kids, unless I can count our 11 fur children, 2 cats, 3 dogs, 4 goats, and 2 sugar gliders. If you don't know what a sugar glider is, just Google it. Most people don't know. If an animal needs a home, please don't call me right now, because it's really hard for me to say no. I've rescued and fostered over 100 animals in the past: dogs, cats, turtles, rabbits, guinea pigs, etc. You name it. I wish I had more time to do it lately because I do miss it. I'm currently a store manager at a large print and ship company where I've worked for almost 27 years. I like my job, but it can be most definitely stressful at times. Hobby-wise, I'm obsessed with collecting pretty much anything that has to do with Lois and Clark. I actually have an entire room in my house converted into a little Lois and Clark museum, and I'm quickly running out of room. Anything from magazine clippings to wardrobe pieces, props, daily footage, and crew gifts. You get the idea. If I can get my hands on it, I want it. And now I'm a podcaster, which is something I never thought I'd say.
Hi, I'm Molly. I'm currently an instructional assistant. I teach little kids to read. I also teach Lego classes. I sell vintage goods on Etsy, and sometimes I write books. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved to create things. And now I'm into art of all kinds. I also love social history, animals, architecture, and world travel. My biggest collection at the moment is probably Lego, and I also love making Lego models. And I have one cat, and her name is Maya.
My name is Jenn. I graduated from Portland State University with a degree in science and a minor in biology. I'm a former lab nerd who developed, reformulated, and tested teas for Stash Tea, and now I'm a preschool teacher. I love golden retrievers. In my spare time, I'm a dog trainer and a social media manager. One interesting thing about me is that I started and continue to run one of the first ever dog social media accounts. Nowadays, there are tons of animal pages. My account was for my golden retriever, Parker. Parker was an amazing dog who took me on an amazing journey. He was a professional animal actor and model. He did live theater. He was a therapy dog, crisis response dog, and also a cancer awareness advocate. He was even invited down to Los Angeles for a black tie affair to meet Betty White. Yes, the Betty White. And if you're curious, I got to go too, and she was one of the kindest human beings I've ever met. Over the years, we amassed over 1 million follows on Facebook alone. I could talk about Parker and our incredible experiences for hours, and I tried with Dean. I'm sure I'll share that humiliating story at some point in time. But if you want to learn more, you can read my book I just published in September of 2024 called Parker Pup, A New Leash on Life. What else? I love musical theater. I live with my current golden retriever named Walter, who is 4, and I'm in the process of training him to be a therapy dog. I'm not a collector, I'm not a fanfic writer, and I don't know the titles of the episodes at all. And I cannot cherry pick episodes. I have to watch them in order so I can follow along with the progression of Lois and Clark's relationship. And I always thought Dean and Terry had the best chemistry, and I wanted to see them end up together in real life.
So Jenn and I are both from Oregon, but we're not exactly neighbors. And Julie lives thousands of miles away in Ohio. How exactly did we all meet?
I am curious about this because I don't remember. I remember how I met Molly, kind of, sort of. But I don't remember how I met Julie.
Molly and I, we met back in the Lois Clark chat room.
IRC.
At least that's what I am remembering. Back in the day, we'd hang out there every night chatting with, folks and split off into our own little group. But Jenn, I think that Molly might have introduced me to you on LiveJournal.
That's probably it.
So yes, I also remembered that you two connected on LiveJournal, and I actually have all my LiveJournals archived in a kind of weird document that you can search for certain stuff. So I searched for your guys' usernames, and I found a couple instances where I was doing like some sort of trivia with movie stars when they were young or something like that, pictures of them, and you guys had to guess, and you both did that. And I think one was Lois and Clark. So you interacted, but I think you became friends once you both realized you were both into the show.
Sorry, I'm glad that you guys can fill me in because I don't really remember anything, but I remember being online, and I remember eventually meeting you guys and knowing you guys liked Lois and Clark, and that was the whole basis of how I made friends. How did I meet Molly? I remember we had fan clubs because you had Folk Central.
I was starting my fan club, and I was on AOL, and they used to have this thing where you could search for people. Sounds creepy as heck now, but I searched for people who liked Lois and Clark and who were from Oregon, and your profile came up, and it didn't have very much, just how old you were. And I was like, ooh, I really wish I could chat with her, but I'm too anxious to do it. So I got my friend Gretchen to do it. I said, you asked Jenn if she wants to join Folk Central. Gretchen went off and contacted Jenn, and then they started chatting. We all started sending snail mail back and forth, even though we weren't that far apart. So we met in 1998. 8 years later, we met in real life.
It's weird because back in those days, Like meeting people from the internet was weird. Like it was
It was
sketchy.
scary. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very scary. And I know
So
Molly and we met back in like 1999 at the celebrity basketball game with Dean when the folks were sponsoring. So that was fun where we went down to St. Louis. That was, I think my first trip out by myself in the world as like a kid. So that was scary, like meeting people from the internet. And I remember my mother was really upset about it. Like, you're gonna get murdered. You don't know any of these people. And I'm like, well, I've talked to them every night for years, so it'll be fine. I'm sure it's fine, which it was. It was fun. I didn't get murdered.
I'm
No,
still here. You're
you're
fine.
still alive.
What do you remember about your early days of finding the Lois and Clark fandom online? When did you get online, if you remember? What service were you on? And how involved did you get? We want to start with Julie.
My memory is awful, but I do remember when we got our computer, I was really excited about it. I think it was somewhere around third season. We got CompuServe, and I remember being all upset because it wasn't AOL that all of my friends had. The first thing I looked for was, keyword Lois and Clark, and I found the Warner Brother page. And I don't remember it being that spectacular. There wasn't a lot there. There were some photos that you could download. And I remember downloading them to my little floppy disks. And I had a stack of them on my desk of just random promo photos. But does anybody remember those little like 360-degree virtual tour things? Those were kind of weird.
Yeah,
That they had
vaguely.
on certain, like I think they had like Clark's bedroom was one of them and the planet was one of them.
I still have stills from those. Like I downloaded
Yeah,
the stills. Yeah, they're about this big, so enjoy. But
They're tiny. But I remember being, "Ooh, this is so cool."
but being on dial-up at the time, we were like, click, it moves
Yeah.
that far. Click 10 hours later.
And then, I found the chat rooms and was there pretty much every single night
Oh,
whenever,
yeah.
somebody wasn't on the phone and disconnecting me.
Yeah, because you had to wait for the line to be free.
Mm-hmm. And you'd be typing and then you'd just disconnect. I'm like, get off the phone. I'm talking to people. Stop
Oh my
it.
gosh.
Do you remember everybody's cheesy little GeoCity sites that had all the like glittery spinning graphics?
Oh, yeah.
Those took forever to load.
And
I'm
they
like,
were
please
so
stop with the glittery
cool.
graphics.
The glittering S that would like shimmer as it would load. It would like
Yes.
slowly scroll, down.
My experience is very similar to Julie's. I was also on CompuServe third season, and I was in the sci-fi fantasy forum. As soon as I logged in, the very first time I logged in, I went to some other forum, like just the general TV forum, and I'm like, Lois and Clark rules, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody says, hey, that's cool, but we actually are more active over in this forum. You should come over here. So I did. And there was a place where you could download episode guides. I was in
Yes.
heaven because I hadn't
Yes.
seen every episode or I didn't remember all these episodes. And I'm sitting there reading the descriptions and inner bliss achieved right there. Plus, at school, I wasn't quite so bold to outright ask, but I had ways of kind of finding out maybe what do you watch on Sunday nights kind of things. If they weren't into it, forget them. If they were into it, you'd ask even more questions. And if they said anything negative about the show, that was it.
No.
Uh-huh.
They were not worthy.
No.
So around early third season, I started getting kind of depressed. Didn't have anyone to really talk, no true fan to really talk about. And so I really desperately needed that. And then voila, we got CompuServe and I found a whole bunch of people and it was wonderful. Let's hear from Jenn.
I know we started on either CompuServe or Prodigy. And I just remember being bummed because I wanted AOL because that was where all the Lois and Clark was happening, all the Lois and Clark chatter. And it was like during the time when Terry's most downloaded picture in like the whole world was like blowing up. And so like I didn't really care about the picture. I just knew that Lois and Clark was like a huge thing over there. But we eventually did get AOL. Just remember doing keyword Lois and Clark. I do remember now that you say that, you can search for people. And so I would always be searching for people like in Portland or Pacific Northwest or anything to find people that had an interest in Lois and Clark. And I would, go into chat rooms and say, "Oh, I love Lois and Clark. Lois and Clark's the best. Lois and Clark rules," and all this stuff. It was like casting out like a fishing net and seeing what you could catch. And then if someone was interested, you'd be like, "Oh, let's go to an IM and we'll talk about it." But it's totally different now. I have some questions that I'd like to ask you guys. Hopefully, this will help our listeners get to know us better, but also maybe we'll learn some secrets about each other that we don't already know. So, my first question is, which episode or approximately when did you realize that you were a legit fan? Molly.
Mine was Barbarians of the Planet House of Luther when they aired for the first time. That sold me. I did have a little crush on Jack. I don't know if that was part of it, but also get a nice Clark in bed scene. And the whole plot was just so exciting that by the time those 2 episodes finished, I was hooked.
Julie, what about you?
I'd say for me, like obviously I like watched it and recorded it from the very beginning, but I specifically remember when Requiem for a Superhero was airing. I was so upset because I did not have an empty VHS tape. So at that point I realized, okay, this is a problem already. I need a tape. So I grabbed a home video and recorded over it.
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
no, that's awful.
So I think at that point I knew that I was pretty hooked because I was like, oh well to the home video, sorry.
Oh, the level of dedication.
Yeah.
I think I realized that I was a fan when I don't remember what episode it was, but the preview for the next week was the airplane scene where they finally kiss. I remember watching that going, "Oh my gosh, this is it. They're going to get together. I'm so excited." And I remember recording it so that I could watch it, on a loop because I was so excited. I don't remember the name of the episode.
For my first thought, oh, the pilot, then Strange Visitor. But no, I think when they reran, they didn't air them quite in order.
Do you like all Superman shows and movies or just Lois and Clark? Julie.
I wouldn't say that I like them all, but I do basically watch them all. I've seen, I think, pretty much everything. I've seen the Superman movies and Smallville and Superman and Lois and Man of Steel. So yeah, some I like better than others, but nothing is as good as Lois and Clark. Nothing will be. I am excited about the new one. So hopefully that'll live up to the hype.
How about you, Molly?
Pretty much the same as Julie. I've sampled most of them and I'm pretty meh about most of them. I watched a few seasons of Smallville and I have enjoyed My Adventures with Superman, the animated series.
That's a good one.
But none of them have the right mix that makes me happy about Lois and Clark. So I'll watch them.
I agree. I wanted to love Smallville so much. I think I stuck with that one for like a season or so. And I'm sure it's a great show. It just wasn't the same chemistry that I found with Lois and Clark. I did enjoy My Adventures with Superman, which I'm not into whatever style cartoon that is. I'm not a huge fan. I thought it was great. I thought it was cute, but then again, kind of just not the same vibe at all. There was just something magic struck with Lois and Clark, and nothing else can compete. So, what are some of your other favorite TV shows from the 80s or 90s?
My other favorite show in the 90s besides Lois and Clark was The Pretender, which aired simultaneously for a year, one season. They were on at the same time. I also love TGIF, Full House, pretty much anything that had a bunch of kids on it. I was into it.
This is kind of a weird one, but I love Alf, about the little alien.
I remember Alf.
Yes, I do. I collect things from that show too, which is kind of weird. I know. I used to watch a lot of Who's the Boss. Does anybody remember Hey Dude and Salute Your Shorts?
Yes.
Those were awesome. Like the Nickelodeon shows. Wings, The Nanny. I was like a rerun kid. I watched a lot of like Mork and Mindy, Mr. Ed, Bewitched. Those are definitely not 80s, but they played in the 80s, so
sure.
I'll count those.
It's not a wrong answer. We won't count it against you. I think for me, I was a big TGIF kid. I loved Full House, still love Full House and anything related to it. Later on, I liked Cheers and Who's the Boss, which I never really watched during that time, but it is an 80s show, so I like it now.
Did anybody watch Quantum Leap or MacGyver?
I didn't, but
Those
Molly
were both
did.
good
Yeah.
ones.
I did. I watched Terry's episode and then I realized the show was kind of cool and I kept going.
Do you guys remember Caroline in the City?
Yes, I did watch that too. I watched a
I
lot of TV as a kid.
I did too. I don't know why I'm blanking now. Caroline in the City and The Nanny. I loved The Nanny.
What about dinosaurs?
The
Anybody watch
one,
that?
not
Like
the
not the
mama.
mama,
Yes,
not
I
the
do.
mama.
I do remember that show.
And then
Okay.
obviously Friends. I mean, who doesn't like Friends?
Oh, yes, of course. How could we forget Friends? Friends is that's a good one. How about your favorite shows now?
Really have a good show that I watch anymore. I need some suggestions because I don't watch a whole lot of current TV anymore. I typically wait till things are on for a while and then start binging.
I don't watch a lot of traditional TV anymore, but when I do, I watch Lego Masters. I've also enjoyed Crime Scene Kitchen. I do watch Call the Midwife, although I'm not caught up with current seasons. They have about 12 seasons at this point. I enjoy watching these miniseries that I love. I watch them over and over. So those are kind of also my TV rewatches, but they're not current at all. So
I don't know that I have favorite shows like now. I watch a lot of dumb stuff like Selling Sunset and The Circle on Netflix and Big Brother I've been watching for a long time. But the last two shows that I've really gotten into is Paradise on Hulu, actually written by Scott Weinger from Full House. Some of the episodes were written by him. And it's one of those thrillers that you kind of keep watching and there are twists and turns and everything. That one's good. And then the other one I just started is called The Pit, and it's kind of like a throwback to ER, and it actually has Noah Wyle in it. So kind of good. How often do you guys rewatch Lois and Clark?
I'm shameful. I have not rewatched it a whole lot. I do cherry pick episodes. I'll sometimes just get in the mood to see a particular one and I'll queue it up and watch it. But it's been many, many years since I watched the whole series. And that's one of the reasons I'm excited to do that on here.
Nice.
I'm the same. I'm not one that just sits and watches like over and over and over. Like people probably assume that I do, but I do not watch it that often. If I do, I think I'm more of like a listener and have it on in the background if I'm kind of, folding laundry or doing something like that. But if I do put it in, I kind of, like Molly said, like cherry pick an episode that I like, put it in the disc, and maybe I'll watch like 3 in a row or something, and then I'm done for like a year.
I can't do it that way. I have to start at the beginning and I can't skip any episodes. And it gets kind of hard during certain arcs, but I always trudge through. I make it all the way through, but I feel like I watch it maybe once every year, 1 to 2 years. Like I feel like once a year is too generous, so I will probably say once every 2 years. Okay. Random. Name a guilty pleasure you guys have.
I love cruising. I don't get to do it as often as I like, but I love it. You just get to go, float around, eat a bunch of food, do whatever the heck you want for a week or two. Plus, they take you to all these cool destinations and you can get off and look around or not get off and look around.
That's so cool. I've
I
never
love
done
it.
that.
Cruises are fun because you don't really have to think about anything. You just go with the flow, basically. It's fun.
Sounds fun.
I don't know that I want to admit this on a podcast, but whatever. A guilty pleasure is Lois and Clark and fan fiction. Does anybody
Oh,
does anybody read this stuff? Because I mean, come on. It's good. Some of them are good.
Oh no. Wow.
What? Really?
I don't read NFA.
Oh,
I
come
don't.
on. There's some good ones.
Okay, we can save this when we're not on record. I can tell you more about that.
Oh my goodness.
I want to hear this. I want to hear it.
But it's
After
good stuff, I'm telling you.
after your guys's mine sounds really stupid, but I feel like my guilty pleasure lately is watching mukbangs. You watch people eat stuff that like you're hungry for. And it's like if I was hungry for like a burger, it will pop up in I don't even know how. You just click on it and you watch people eat a burger and it's like it's stupid. I don't even know why. There's nothing beyond it other than it's like, oh man, that looks so good. I want to eat that burger right now.
That would be
Really?
like a trigger for me.
I'm telling you, sometimes if you're craving like Taco Bell, you're scrolling and then you see someone eating a Taco Bell and you click on it and it's like they have all these things that sound delicious and it's like, oh my gosh, a Crunchwrap Supreme that looks amazing and it's like dripping stuff and it's like totally disgusting. Yeah,
That's funny. I didn't know
I'm
that was a thing.
I'm
That's
a weirdo.
Hey, you're watching people eat and I'm reading end fanfic, so it's all good.
Fine.
Molly's terrified now.
Molly's like, I can't believe this is going on the pod.
This will be a
Oh my
special
God.
episode. I will ask Julie questions about what she's seen.
This could be a special feature, the NFIC special feature.
I'll read my favorites. That's
Oh,
what I'll
there
do.
you-
I'll read my
there you go.
favorites for one of the specials.
Too funny. All right, next question. Episode that you're most excited to rewatch.
Weirdly enough, I think I'm most excited to watch the ones that I don't like because I skip them every time I watch something. So there's some episodes that I haven't seen in, I don't even, years and years and years. So I'm hoping maybe during a rewatch, it's going to force me to watch it. I mean, every episode has good parts in it, but there's just those ones that you just go, not today, and skip
Yeah.
over.
I hear ya.
Definitely the finale. That would be one.
Oh, yeah.
Illusions of Grandeur, Ides of Metropolis. There's quite a bit that Smart Kids, that I just skip over.
I have no idea what any of these are except for Smart Kids because I don't do episode titles, but it's fine. Once we get there, I'll figure it out.
I own 2 scripts, and one of them is Witness, and the other is Ides of Metropolis. And I was
Whoa.
reading the Witness script the other night before bed, as you do. And I don't know. I'm excited to talk about that one. I think there's some cute stuff in it, even though it's not the greatest episode as a whole. It does
Yeah.
have some really cute moments. And
Yeah, that's another one I usually skip over, but it's not a bad episode. It's just, you go to the ones that you really like all the time. At least that's what I do. I watch the same ones constantly.
I feel like I'm most excited to watch Honeymoon in Metropolis and Wine, Wine, Wine. I love Wine, Wine, Wine. I have always loved it. The end scene is just where it's at.
Those are both great. I will say Wine, Wine, Wine. I have the daily footage tapes of that, and let me tell you, there's a lot of kissing going on.
I cannot wait.
And it's a good one. It's a good one.
Nice. So, last question. Where can we find you? Give yourself a plug. Website, socials, whatever.
Molly?
okay, well, my website is allmolly.blogspot.com. And I have all my links there. So there's a blog, and I have links to my Lego creations and my vlog, my Etsy shop, my books, everything you could maybe want. So
You can find me at HatcherFan on Instagram or X. I don't really post on X, but I am there, so you're more likely to find me posting on Instagram. You'll see all my animal posts. That's about all I ever post. Animal posts and Lois and Clark props.
There is nothing wrong with either of those things. Both things are amazing, and that's why you should follow. So you can find me on parkerpup.com and at parkerpup on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also at Jenn McFarling on Instagram, but I'm kind of boring, so.
It's a game, Clark. Are you telling me that when you play a game, you don't play to win?
I play to play.
I have a little game. It's called Yes, No, Never Seen It, or It's Complicated. And the topic is fandoms. Each of us has made a list of their top fandoms. Yes, there is life outside of Lois and Clark. My 15-year-old self would have never believed that was possible, but never mind her. And we're going to take turns reading our lists for the others. The others are only allowed to give a signal in response to any item on the list. Thumbs up for yes, I'm also a fan. Thumbs down for no, not a fan. 2 hands up like a shrug means never seen it. And we each get 1 chance to use the it's complicated response. Because sometimes you just don't know how to feel about a fandom, okay? So I'll go first, and we'll see how this goes. How do you feel about each of the following things? Anne of Green Gables 1985 movie. 2 thumbs up from each.
Yes.
All right. Pride and Prejudice Colin Firth version. Thumbs up from both. You can remain on my friends list. Lord of the Rings, the movies, the original trilogy. All right, not fans. Okay. No big deal. Community, the TV series. Thumbs up from Julie and a shrug from Jenn. Back to the Future movie. Thumbs up from both. The Queen's Gambit Netflix series. Shrug from Julie, thumbs up from Jenn. Call the Midwife PBS series. 2 shrugs.
I'll add it to my list.
Oops. We're going to have to watch it now.
It's okay. We Bear Bears cartoon series.
Yeah.
No idea what that is.
Wow. Okay. 2 shrugs. Beauty and the Beast, 1991, the animated movie. Thumbs up from both. And Little House on the Prairie, 1970s TV show. Yay, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Love it.
All right, those are mine. Who would like to go next?
Julie.
I'll go next. How about Harry Potter books?
Girl, I gotta use my It's Complicated right now.
What? We got a thumbs up from Jenn and an It's Complicated. What is wrong with you, Molly? All right. Next up is Stranger Things. And thumbs down from Molly and Jenn. What?
Oh. Should have prefaced it by saying thumbs down doesn't necessarily mean you don't like it. It just means you're not in the fandom.
It's not your
Yeah.
fan. Okay, well, yeah. This is random, but how about Ernest movies? Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Goes to Camp.
Dang it.
Oh, no, never seen it. Okay. All right. We watched all of those as a kid. Ernest Saves Christmas. All right. How about Disney parks? Yay. Thumbs up all around. That is the right answer. If you didn't say that, I was defriending all of you. New Kids on the Block.
Oh,
Eh.
it's complicated for me.
All right. A thumbs down.
I'm
from
gonna
Molly
use my-
and It's Complicated.
Complicated. I was more of an instinct girl.
All right, here comes back to this. Reading fan fiction. Yay, both yes. Okay, cool. How about Alf? Jen's a yes. Molly's a a no. Okay. And that's what I got.
So here come mine. Full House. A yes from Molly. A yes from Julie. Good job, you guys. How about Friends? Good job. Considering we all went to the Friends set on Warner Brothers. Glad to hear it. All right, how about The Office? I got a yes from both of you. Awesome. Cheers. A no from Molly.
I'll give it It's Complicated.
Fine. All right. Who's the boss? Yes from Julie and a no from Molly. All right. How about Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist? Never seen it. Guys, if you like Lois and Clark, that's add it to your list. If you like musicals and like Secret Hidden Powers, it's a good show. Big Brother.
Ooh.
I've got a yes from Julie and a no from Molly. What? I'm shocked.
Not anymore. I haven't watched it since like 9. So
Okay,
more than
that's
half
fine.
of them I haven't.
Yeah. It gets a little weird sometimes, but the old school Big Brother was the best. You've Got Mail. I got a yes from Julie and a no from Molly. Such a cute movie. How about My Girl? Yes from Molly, yes from Julie. Good job, you guys. And last one, One Fine Day. George Clooney? No. Molly said no. Julie said yes. Classic rom-com. So good. All right, it's fine. I'll keep you guys as friends anyway.
It's okay that we're all a little different.
I know. I'm joking.
Now I have some ideas to watch things that, I've never watched before.
Exactly.
If you say it's good, I'm going to believe you. So I have one final game for us today, and I call it This or That 90s Edition. I will name 2 items or scenarios from 90s that you can choose this or that. Choose whichever you liked more at the time. If you didn't like either option, then you also have the choice to completely vaporize them both. Or as Joey on Full House would say, cut it out. Make sense?
It makes sense.
All right.
I love it.
First up, Cabbage Patch Kids or Garbage Pail Kids?
Cabbage Patch Kids.
What was that face, Molly?
I hated the Garbage Pail Kids. I
Oh,
just look at them
come
and I would
on.
be sad. No.
See, I wasn't like a doll person. I had a Cabbage Patch Kid, but I was more of a Garbage Pail Kid person.
That's
All
funny.
right, Nickelodeon or Disney Channel?
Disney Channel.
Molly's
I have
going
to-
Disney Channel.
Okay, I have to pick one. I'm gonna say Nickelodeon.
I didn't have Disney Channel, so that's probably why I choose Nick.
I do remember like Double Dare and all of those fun shows, where they got slimed. That was fun.
I didn't have cable
Yeah.
at all until 97. And so I didn't have like the kid experience, but the shows that Disney had, like Road to Avonlea and Xenon and different things like that, were more
Ooh,
interesting
Xenon was
to
good.
me as like an 18, 19-year-old. So that's where I'm coming from.
Next up is Judy Blume books or Beverly Cleary books.
No!
I know. It's a hard choice.
That's hard. But I have to go with our Portlander, Beverly Cleary, even though I liked both.
Molly's
I-
conflicted.
No, okay. Judy Blume edges out, and that's fine. But wow, that's a mean question right there.
Both are right answers. All right. Scratch and sniff stickers or bubble stickers?
Oh, I don't know. I deal with a lot of stickers these days. I think bubble stickers have a little bit more, like, my sensory enjoys it a little bit more.
Holy cow, these are hard. Bubble stickers.
All right. Hypercolor shirts or jelly bracelets and shoes?
I was just thinking about hypercolor shirts today. How random. But I'm going to go with the jelly shoes and the jelly bracelets because they hurt
I'll
your
go
feet, but you looked cute.
Oh, they did. They hurt. I didn't like those at all.
I was going to say hypercolor, even though I never had one. I wanted one,
Wow.
but I did have jelly,
Oh.
and yes, they were uncomfortable. So why
Yeah.
would I pick that? I don't know.
I don't know either. This is a scenario one. Would you have been more of a kid that sits at recess connecting to somebody else's Game Boy to play two-player, or were you running around trading pogs?
I would have been running around doing the things. I had Pogs. I did not know how did that game even work? I still don't know, but I did have a small collection, and one of them was Superman, by the way.
And I don't even think I had any pogs, but I was definitely the Game Boy sitting on the bench connecting
let
and
you
playing
have
Dr.
that?
Mario. Yeah, we
Wow.
played Dr. Mario at recess.
Dang, I love Dr. Mario.
That's the best two-player game.
I was not allowed to have a Game Boy or any of the
Wow.
consoles. Like Nintendo,
What?
we didn't have it. So I grew up without all of that stuff.
Womp womp. That's a sad day.
Yeah.
I'm a video game nerd.
I would rather play Game Boy. Just at recess, I'm kind of glitching out on that part of it because we weren't allowed to have that. Okay, hold on. I choose Game Boy. Game Boy is better than Pogs.
Would you be checking out your friends' MySpace pages or their GeoCities pages?
I was huge into MySpace, so that would be my answer.
I didn't know anybody personally that had their own GeoCities page. I had one, but
Yeah, I had one, but it was terrible.
gosh, no, my
It was
friends.
awful.
I was the first of my friends to get online, and even trying to explain to them. So I'm gonna have to go with MySpace because that was the first socials. Whatever, I'd go with MySpace.
Yeah, I always
But
wanted
yeah,
to check out people's top 8.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
I delete you this week. I don't like you
Yeah.
this week.
I know. You are not my top 8 friend.
All right. I have Hacky Sacks or Skip It. Does
Skip
anybody
It.
remember Skip It?
I do.
Hacky sacks because they were less dangerous to my
You didn't break your ankle.
coordination.
Those did hurt when you'd smack your ankle with them. One last one is rollerblades or roller skates.
I was a roller skating kid. I had both, but I loved my roller skates.
I liked roller skates too. I could never get the hang of having your brakes on the back because I would just fall over. I needed those brakes in the front, like on regular roller skates. And if I wasn't afraid of breaking all of my bones, I do own roller skates, I would go out and do it. But I am terrified.
Well, now that we're
Yeah. But at
old.
the time, yeah. So
I'd break
having
a
had
hip.
both things, I prefer the roller skates.
I remember I had a birthday party at the roller skating rink and I got rollerblades and they would not let me wear them because they weren't approved for the rink. And I was so upset. So upset. I'm like, why? Why can't I
They-
wear them?
They weren't allowed at our rink either, the one that was close to my house. I don't know why. So whenever I would rollerblade in my friend's garage or like down the street.
And that's all I got.
All right. I hope by now you have a pretty good picture of who we are and are excited to join us during our epic rewatch journey.
Wait a minute. How do I find you?
You can find us on Instagram or Blue Sky as Folks Forever. That's FOLCS FOREVER. Or you can visit our website at folksforeverpod.wixsite.com/podcast. Be sure to follow us on the podcast platform of your choosing. And if you're feeling extra kind today, consider leaving us a review. And until next time, please enjoy this amazing little ditty.
Three friends on the couch lit by the glow. Lois and Clark reruns ready to go. Retro vibes with some 90s flair. TV's our adventure, no need for air. Dial it up like the modem screams. Superpowers and love on a silver screen. Blurry pixels but the story's clear. Superman's back and we're all here. Laptops buzzing like an old school hum. Chatting theories where the drama sprung. Jimmy and Perry, they brought the fun. Lois Lane outshines even the Krypton sun. Dial it up like the modem screams. Superpowers and love on a silver screen. Blurry pixels but the story's clear. Superman's back and we're all here. Through the static in his tights so bright. We're speeding back in time tonight. Typing away with the sound of gears. Retro feels, let's rewind the years. Scrolling forums, we decode the show. Hidden Easter eggs, lines to know. Three friends laughing, munching snacks. Lois and Clark were always coming back. Dial it up like the modem screams. Superpowers and love on a silver screen. Blurry pixels but the story's clear. Superman's back and we're all here. And we're all here. Through the static in his tights so bright. We're speeding back in time tonight. Typing away with the sound of gears. Retro feels, let's rewind the years. Scrolling forums, we decode the show. Hidden Easter eggs, lines to know. Three friends laughing, munching snacks. Lois and Clark were always coming back. Dial it up like the modem screams. Superpowers and love on a silver screen. Blurry pixels but the story's clear. Superman's back and we're all here. Through the static in his tights so bright. We're speeding back in time tonight. Typing away with the sound of gears. Retro feels, let's rewind the years.